sooner.
We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business, ain't none of yours.
We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble. Control us! You're sending some kind of signals on TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
People, welcome to Throwback Tuesday, episode 111. I'm out of energy now. I don't give a fuck no more. This is the second time we ain't done this shit, people. I fuck this movie. Fuck it down the ground. I thought about it over the long hours that we did it, and I was just like, you know what the hell this fucking movie is for making me do this over and repeating what I have to say again, which is I don't fucking remember because I'm going to tell you this right now. Once I've already talked about a movie, I've already forgotten about it, and I've already forgotten about this.
Damn!
Yeah. So fuck this movie. I'm talking about They Live, people. I'm your spoiler host with the most phenomenal one.
And this is Z.
And Z's like, well, I still like it.
It's a cult movie.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck the cult. I don't join cults. I'm not a Scientologist.
No, you just joined the KKK.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Hey, they're looking for equality.
they are now.
They better be. Sure, because I'm in charge of it. Why do we gotta talk about this? Give a plot synopsis. I don't want to talk about this again. God damn it.
They Live, directed by John Carpenter, starring Roddy Piper.
I've heard this already.
Keith David, Meg Foster, budget $3 million, box office $13 million, and Roddy Piper is a drifter going into LA and stumbles upon a alien invasion that he can see with sunglasses. They joins a rebellion to stop them. That's the only thing I can picture on that plot.
Yeah, it takes you about at least 30, 40 minutes to, and the movie only like an hour and 20 minutes. It takes you about 40 minutes to actually understand what's going on in the film because you don't really know what the fuck's going on. You just see Roddy Piper working, common man, blue-collared man, if you will. Which, by the way, I gotta say it again, I thought Roddy Piper did a great job in this film. I didn't know he was that great of an actor, to be honest. Probably the best wrestler to actor in a film I've ever saw, other than The Rock.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And the great one.
Yeah, no one's touching The Rock.
No, I wish I could touch him. I'd touch him all over. I'd touch the fuck out of him.
That's why you have your restraining order.
Hey, shh, don't tell nobody about that. Hey, shut your mouth, Z. Hey, Z, oh, that Z, he's a jokester. That guy, always joking, man. Always just shut the fuck up, Z. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, but one other thing too. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper.
Very much so. Yes.
Hey, you smashed Jesus with a coconut bottle. Or an actual coconut, for that matter, like you always did to warm our little warm hearts. One of the best heels in professional wrestling, still, especially on the microphone. I mean, his microphone skills were fucking phenomenal.
No pun intended.
Oh, it's a pun intended, all right.
Oh, okay.
I am the Roddy Piper of movie spoilers.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'll never win a championship, and I'll just still keep talking shit. So, yeah.
And film sats at Hulk Hogan.
Oh, motherfucker! Oh, God. I can't wait for him to die. I take that back. Never mind. I like that he's alive because he can continue to keep making sex tapes.
Okay.
Hey, quick question now. You bring up a great point, man. So you think when Hogan dies, do you think that wrestling will acknowledge his death since they fired him?
It depends. If he dies tomorrow, I think they will. Because that would be... I mean, he was a hero to how many kids in the world in the 80s?
Yeah, but you know, wrestling, they don't want to ruin their image. Remember, it's a business now. It's got a lot of money riding on it, especially since the stock's open and stuff like that. So, do you think they would acknowledge him after the racist comments he made, though?
I think they would.
I don't think they would. They've done this before where they don't acknowledge people that in. They did it years later, like decades later. I don't think they would if he did die now.
It's really hard to say. Because his is a lot different than anyone else's.
But you remember what Vince McMahon always says. motherfucker. WWF has always been bigger than one man.
Yeah, that's his
And
motto.
as much as Hulk Hogan has done, you've seen how long they've kept Macho Man in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because of his alignment with, possibly messing around with Stephanie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about that. Remember, people had to fucking put up petitions and shit to get Macho Man in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because they did not want to put him in there. So, if Hulk Hogan died today, people, do you think that they would honor his death after all the comments he's made?
Which are very serious comments.
Hell yeah, because WWE doesn't want to be in that limelight.
No, they don't want...
Like I said, they're a business of multicultural and different races and religions, and they're worldwide. Do you really think they want someone that don't like a certain race on there, which is probably a good portion of their demographic?
They are publicly traded company, which is a huge thing.
Especially with that new network of theirs that's was doing poor at first and is now just doing okay. It ain't doing great, but it's doing okay. So, do you think that they would waste all that just to celebrate one man?
Do you think if he dies, do you think it'll be water under a bridge because he's dead?
No. WWE don't do that. they don't do that. Let me ask you this. Has Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame yet?
No. That's different, though. That is different. He killed somebody. He killed 2 people.
But that was medical reasons, too. Yeah, I don't hear nothing about that doctor. And WWE isn't doing anything about their concussion tests or anything like that still. Because he's still got a couple of wrestlers still.
Yeah, you're right.
And about that. So, I don't know if that's different nowadays. Saying, I don't know, calling black people out niggers, I don't know, that's a totally different thing.
Hogan was just born in the wrong era.
For a business decision, what Hogan did was probably worse. For a moral business standpoint, what Benoit did was worse. Because what Hogan did, he isolated a certain demographics of saying, why the fuck would I support this now if they tolerate this?
Yeah, you're right, because wasn't there a study? Wasn't there like more black people than there are whites right now? By a very small few?
Yeah, and like a lot of the other like athletes, when they go to towns, they kind of promote the
Yeah.
And obviously we all know that most of the athletes are black nowadays, so that's a pretty big deal there. Not to mention, The Rock is black, so he brings some income revenue to WWE when he's there. So I'm just saying, let's put it out there right now, Z.
Yeah. Now think about it. I think they'll just probably do that little respect, the 10 bell thing, and then that's probably it.
I know Vince McMahon would be like, you better keep that nigga hating motherfucker, orange motherfucker away from my millions, shit. Shit. And away from my daughter. I don't want him and Macho Man running a train on her.
But I don't know.
Macho Man telling Jesus right now how he ran a train on Stephanie right now.
We'll see when that time comes. I mean, if he's not in the spotlight for say about a year or 2 years.
Which he probably won't be.
No, he's not. He's an egotistical fucker. I
think he's done for right now.
Yeah.
They'll probably give him a reality show about it and be like, hey, tell us why you hate niggers. But, other than that, I think he's pretty much done.
Yeah. I'm not.
Because most of the people they celebrated their deaths, like, Dustin Rhodes, Roddy Piper shit, they never had any of this shit on them.
I'm not really, sad.
For Roddy Piper? Or
no, Hogan. Piper, yes,
Hogan's
Piper.
overrated anyway. I never liked Hogan.
Piper's sad because that was extremely unexpected.
Kind of came out of nowhere because he seemed to be always appearing now and then or whatever and stuff, and he seemed to be in really good shape.
Yeah.
For the most part, I don't know how old he was, but it was a heart failure, right? He died on.
I believe so. I didn't hear what the coroner did.
Okay. Well, sucks for that. I mean, we've been losing some great ones that were perfect on the fucking mic, man. They had so much charisma on there. And then like I said before, the last one we got, Ric Flair. Woo! I mean, shit, when he dies, man, that's done deal, man.
What do you think what happens when The Rock dies?
That's not gonna happen. See?
Yeah, it's not. God doesn't want him up there.
Yeah, The Rock can't die, so that's just not gonna happen. So I mean, The Rock is probably the last great person on the mic, general. Oh, well, next to okay, yeah, actually, yeah, The Rock is probably the last great person on the mic.
Jericho.
Who?
Jericho.
Jericho ain't gonna die. I mean, he's Y2J.
Yeah, he's not.
Created the Ayatollah of rock and roll. He can't die. What are you talking about? Jericho's a pretty motherfucker too, by the way. I would fuck the shit out of him if I was a Jew.
Oh my God, The Rock and Jericho at the same time.
Oh man, talk about charisma overload. I'd bust a load just being in their presence. By sitting on a couch next to him, all you hear was, oh. That'd be me. Oh. That's why I wanted to win that award last year, whatever. Can you imagine Jericho handed me that award? I'd be like, oh, God.
You'd be like, no, you just keep it yourself.
Yeah, you keep it to yourself, man. Let me have that light jacket you got. Let me have one of those. Can I get a one time? Can you put me in the walls, Jericho?
One time.
It'd be an honor for you to break my back.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, one time, yes. And as long as you pay for those hospital bills, too.
Yeah.
Rich ass. But people here talk about They Live, 1988 cult follow film that still gets parodied today for its famously 6 to 8 minute fight scene that they have with Keith David and Roddy Piper, where Roddy Piper is trying to get Keith David to put these glasses on to see what he sees, and Keith David's like, look, I told you, man, I don't put the goddamn glasses on, and he's like, you son of a bitch. You can tell when somebody's pissed off the way they say son of a bitch. When you say son of a bitch,
Yeah.
that's when your countryside kicks out and you get angry.
And I think Keith David's from the South.
I think Keith David is, yeah, but Roddy Piper is the one that said it.
Yeah. Well, he's Canadian.
I don't know where the fuck he's from.
He's from Canada.
Oh, God, man. Well, damn. You know, a lot of great talented wrestlers come from Canada, too. I don't understand that, because I didn't think Canada had talent, so... I didn't even know Canada was a real country, so...
It's a 50...
I don't think it is, but
it's our 52nd state next to Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, if it's just as legal to state as Puerto Rico, then, oh, okay, cool. Because like South Park said, it's not even a real country anyway.
No,
Blame Canada! Blame Canada!
But yeah, the fight, which is spoofed in South Park, and a very hilarious fight scene in South Park.
Triple fight.
Which one was better?
Oh, the cripple fight, I'm sorry. It's the cripple fight, man. That shit was hilarious because, you know why it was hilarious? You had that one guy at the end of the cripple fight that said, alright, you two, break it up now. It's time to be done after it was already done. Cripple fight was awesome, man. I love the shit out of that cripple fight. And you got Eric Carpenter running around to everybody talking about, cripple fight! And I mean, you gotta be honest with yourself. Even if you was at a grocery store and you heard someone yell that, wouldn't you go watch?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I would too. Somebody told me I was wrong for that. I was just like, come on now. When have you ever seen two crippled people fight each other?
Never.
Especially one in a wheelchair and one on crutches. I would be taking bets at that thing. Be like, my money's on the boy in the wheelchair.
Well, Michael Vick can organize it.
Michael Vick's too busy organizing the legalizing cat fights right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's moving up on animals.
Okay.
Yeah. He's realizing that he needs to go smaller and think a little bit tinier. That way he doesn't get caught quick.
He's on his way.
Yeah, of course, man. Come on now. Don't doubt Michael Vick now. Brothers know how to improve themselves. Which, by the way, there's a scene here where Roddy Piper should have died, and that's when he got knocked upside the head.
And out the window of a 3-story, maybe?
Man, that was a long-ass fall. That's all I know. That was a very long-ass fall. If that fall didn't kill him, that glass shot or whatever that was upside his head should have killed him.
Yeah, and that's why, like, example, like Edge of Tomorrow. We both love that movie.
Love the shit out of it.
when he can repeat when Tom Cruise can repeat, he's dying over the simplest things. But when he can't die, he survives the craziest things.
What did he survive? That was crazy.
It was towards the end, there was an explosion and he like flew and hit the side of a wall.
Damn, I don't remember that.
I think it might have been, maybe it was when what's her name? Emily Blunt. When she blew up or sacrificed herself.
Oh no, I remember that. Yeah, no, he didn't hit the side of a wall. He was on top of a car and it threw him across against a wall. Can't die from that.
Okay.
Hey, I remember this. They were in that cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a car that came by and like the breeze flew him back whenever he hit the side of that wall and shit, or that cabin at least.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, and plus this is a classic 80s movie because you had him firing guns and not aiming, just kind of just going swaying back and forth.
Well, here's the thing about this movie's a little weird. I mean, it definitely was ahead of its time. That's for damn sure. Said it before I say it again. It definitely was ahead of its time. Had a lot of cool elements added to it. But there's a lot of problems with this film, too. I see why it's more of a cult following than it is anything. One thing is that Roddy Piper, as good as I think he is, his character does a complete shift from, I mean, I know that the movie's only like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. It's really short, so it kind of just gets into the motion. But when he finds those glasses, I mean, he just seems like a typical blue-collared worker, right, that seems to be doing. He even says to himself, he's just like, I'm just looking for work, and I believe you can make it in America and do the right thing and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
when he puts those glasses on, it's almost as if, I don't know if those glasses brainwashed him too or something like that, but he was bloodthirsty after that.
Yeah, just he went what? One out of everyone, he picks a fight with the lady in the grocery store.
That old lady, yeah.
Saying how ugly she looks.
She was fucking ugly, though.
Then he takes then he beats up some cops, takes their guns, then walks into a bank and just goes apeshit.
Shoots them.
Yeah. Because he's all out of bubblegum.
Shoots them people. From him, when he puts some glasses on, to be more of like freaking out for about 20 minutes or trying to realize what's going on with the subliminal messages going on, but he kind of reacted to them quickly into violence.
Yeah. Well, when he went to what's her name's house, Holly's house, he said that the glasses were like a drug.
I don't remember the conversation.
He was saying because it's like the glasses were a drug. It was like kind of because if you leave them on too long, it fucks with your head.
I guess. I don't know if I think that was a metaphor he was. I don't think he was saying that necessarily it's a fucking drug, like you take it and bam, you're high or something like that. I think he's using that metaphor. It's a drug because it alters your mind. You start to see things that you don't see when they're not on you or something like that. I don't think he was saying that literally, that it's a drug.
Okay, that's okay. I was confused then. Because
It's okay to be confused.
Yeah,
the plot don't tell you anything until like 40 minutes into it, so it's okay to be confused.
No, that's a major downfall in the movie. That people don't talk about that. They talk about, oh, the glasses, how cool Piper is. They don't talk about the first half hour, 45 minutes.
Because you know why? They're going to get shit for it, just like we are. But here at Movie Spoilers, we're the voice of the voiceless. We don't give a fuck. We talk about anything and everything, and we don't give a shit if we get shit for it. But the thing about that, too, is, and I said this earlier, is even though I think that is bad filmmaking, first of all, I like that you don't have like, especially if you're filming, I guess if it was 2 hours long, then maybe you could be like, okay, then that's cool, but for being only an hour and 18 to 20 minutes or something like that, and, you go through this motion of, you don't get to the actual, as a matter of fact, you still really don't know what's going on even for 40 minutes. You kind of have ideas, and you're putting it together yourself, because, we're experienced movie viewers and stuff like that, so, we can kind of put the puzzle of what this movie's going to be like.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother me that much watching the first 30 to 40 minutes, even though I don't know if this is because Roddy Piper was, I liked his character, they were kind of charming in a way, or was it more of just like, I'm curious to see where this goes, because I know that this film is a cult following, so I kind of want to see what gave it that cult status. So I don't know if that was the reason why it didn't bother me or something, but I don't know. I will give it its criticism on that, and I agree completely with you for that. But it was one of the things that really didn't bother me to the point that I actually hated it for some reason.
Well, I'm not saying I hated it. I'm saying it was bad filmmaking.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, what does that do for you in your review? Does that like drop a rating, half a rating? Like what does that do for you?
You said it. You said it when the first time we did this that the end, they didn't know how to end it because it kind of it ended abruptly.
It ended like that movie, the Devil Inside. This fucking black screen goes on. He's like, what the fuck? That was a fucking ending? Are you serious?
That's exactly. I mean, it's not.
It's not as bad as that now. Don't get me wrong, shit. But it is one of those things where you're just like, I just watched an uncompleted film, and when I rewatched it, I remember the first time I saw it, it ended that way, and when I rewatched it, I said, damn it, I must have got the wrong clip. There must be a longer fucking film, and I got this short version of it or something like that. No, I had the right version.
Yeah.
I had the absolutely right, because people can watch this on YouTube. Like I said, it's easy to fucking find this movie.
I mean, well, as soon as he gets the glasses, it pretty much it picks up, and it seems like a different movie.
Oh, so it's different in a bad way as far as going from dusk till dawn, or different as in?
Yeah.
Okay, it caught my attention. Where are you going?
It's different, like dusk till dawn.
Which one did you like more then?
This one because the first act of Dusk Till Dawn was the interesting part, and then it changed. This one,
well, I mean, which one you more like out of Dusk Till Dawn? I mean, like from is like the beginning or the second half of this more?
I like the second. I like the second half.
Yeah, I can see that because what's his name? Roddy Piper is more, let's just say, I don't want to say outlandish, but more. He has a little bit more charisma to work with, if you will. Because before then, he's just a simple one-note kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where this one could have been one of those badass 80s action films when it gets to the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And when the first one, it's just like, okay, am I watching a movie about a guy that's just trying to get money to work his way up or something like that? I don't want to watch that.
That's what you get. You get what the whole opening credits is just him walking.
And I was even going to say, what was his obsession with watching that church?
I don't know. Maybe there could have been more of a backstory with him. I'm not sure.
Because he was watching that church for the longest, man. He watched it all night, remember? Because the cops came and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I got kind of lost with that shit.
Yeah, like how did the cops find? How did the cops find out it was them?
And keep David getting all paranoid about it, talking about like, I got a good thing going and stuff like that. You need to stay away from them. And it looked like Keith David kind of blamed him for the incident that happened when the cops came and raided the place because Keith David and him saw each other. And Keith David just looked at him and was just like, this is your fault or whatever. It's like, how's it his fault? He just had binoculars and was watching from a far away point of view.
Well, you needed... I don't know. I mean, Keith David, I liked him on there. I think one of the biggest bullshit things was his death. It just kind of happened. It literally... Oh, Roddy Piper leaves the room. Oh, you don't even see Keith David get killed. I mean, fuck you.
Yeah, Keith David has always been that guy that's been shafted in film. I think he's a great fucking actor, underappreciated too. One of the best talents, black talents working in Hollywood as well. Does a lot of voice work because he has a very unique voice to him.
Yeah, he's got
black guys in Hollywood that have a lot of great unique voices.
Like the casting, Piper good, Keith David good, Meg Foster absolutely terrible because she shows literally no emotion at all.
Oh, she was so fucking bland in those scenes when she first met Roddy Piper.
Yeah, and she, if you remember, she was in Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
As Evil Lynn. Exactly the same freaking character.
I would even say, like, the part where she knocked Roddy Piper upside the head with that glass, whatever, I think that caught me off guard so much is the fact that I didn't even find it believable how she did it.
No, I mean, Piper looks, he's buff. He's in great shape in this movie.
Yeah.
And she looks like a 130-pound woman.
Shit, if that, I'd even go less than that. That's being granted there, and I don't know. She kind of cold cocked him easily to where I don't know. I mean, if it was, is it really that easy to break through that glass fucking window like that?
I don't know. I mean, if she was maybe an alien, I would understand it, but she wasn't. She was just collaborator. She's just helped the aliens. That's it.
Yeah, because she just knocked him upside the head. She didn't push him out the window, right?
Right.
Yeah, he just went full force himself. I mean, I guess you got to be Roddy Piper size to do that or whatever. You would think they would reinforce that glass because it is a big-ass glass to our house, so anyone could break the damn thing if it's like that then. But I guess. I still can't decide if it was New York or L.A. That house looked like it was in L.A., but the streets of it looked like it was in New York.
Yeah, it's considered L.A.
Is it L.A.? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would even say it even kind of some glimpses of looking like Chicago at times, too.
I mean, it could have been multiple cities. You don't know.
Yeah, Piper was just high throughout the whole film, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So where the fuck would Roddy Piper come walking from?
Oh, I don't know.
What city would he come from? I know, it's not like we're talking a lot of shit about the movie. I actually did enjoy the movie, so. That's what we do here. We find pieces to take apart.
Yeah, because we're voice of the voiceless.
Damn straight. Gotta talk about the bullshit here. Now, I don't know. That first half was kind of, I don't want to say misguiding, but
it is because
definitely some from Dusk Till Dawn shit going on here.
You had the black preacher who was blind, right?
Yeah, which I didn't find out till the cops started beating him.
And what he was...
Did you know he was blind at the beginning of the film?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was just like, damn, is he blind or something? Oh,
No.
no, you didn't find out he was blind until he grabbed Roddy Piper and he was looking up in the sky and shit. I was like, damn, is he blind or something? What's wrong with him?
And what he was saying was being transferred to the TV, and Piper saw it because the TV kept getting... The hackers kept hacking into the TV stations and saying about... And that was just weird because it said nothing about aliens. It just said, they want us to live their life.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know. That's why I said it's a totally different movie when that happens.
Like, did any of that have anything to do with the whole alien invasion thing that was going on?
No.
And were these guys that were there at that little place I was watching TV, how the fuck did they plug that TV up? What did they plug that up into?
I thought so too. I'm like, where do you get your electricity from?
Like there's a whole outreach community for bums apparently. As a matter of fact, these are the cleanest looking bums I've ever saw too, by the way.
Especially that one drifter who was a collaborator with the aliens at the end.
Yeah.
He was all shaved and looked like he was like $1 million and stuff.
I was like, where the fuck are these facilities at so I can go get me a free dinner real quick?
Yeah. You would help aliens.
Oh fuck yeah, I would turn on us in a heartbeat. Especially if they told me, look, they'd be like, look, you gotta help us or not. I'd be like, look, man, I got a lot of work as it is now. I don't need more work or whatever. It's like either you gotta help us or we're gonna stick this probe up your asshole. What do you need me to do? Need me to sell Z, Wayne, and Luke and Cody out? All right, there you go. You can have all four of them. I don't give a fuck. Take them all. And then you guys would be like, what the hell's going on? Save me, P1. I'd come out there and be like, look, it's either going up my ass or y'all ass, okay?
And you're the one shoving it up our ass.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute, I gotta do what now? I gotta shove what up y'all ass? I'd be like, y'all got like 30,000 aliens on this ship. Why I gotta do it?
It's gonna be like the human centipede.
Oh, God, I gotta create the human centipede with you four. That's what it is.
Yeah, pick the last one.
You motherfuckers will be dead. Didn't we get to that question before?
I think so.
Yeah, who we put at the end of God.
I don't want to think about that. That just makes me...
not?
It makes me relive that movie.
Oh, the third one came out this year. So.
I know. And that's like, what, 100? That's like 100, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got 100% on the thing. It's good.
Yeah, no, I don't
Want
want
to go watch it?
No.
Okay. You loved that one we saw.
No, I didn't.
Remember you talking about the scariest shit you ever saw in your life?
Close to it.
Well, yeah. It makes you wonder, what the fuck is wrong with German people?
I know. And I want to know what the fuck's up with Carpenter, because he wrote this thing. Obviously...
I did not know that. I knew he directed, but I knew he didn't write it. I still don't get how Carpenter fit this into his schedule. I guess it is Aliens. He's known for Aliens.
Universal obviously had no faith in this movie whatsoever.
Apparently not, because they didn't even give them enough money to finish the damn thing. Because I remember telling you earlier, it's just like that was the reason why they didn't finish it. Because I heard Carpenter say that they just didn't have the budget to finish it. I was just like, why didn't you just cut some shit out then, like half of that, like a little bit of that first half then of him just walking and shit like that, and probably just attached on it an ending. I don't know.
I mean, what was the CG? What was the $3 million go to? I mean, the aliens look like skeletons.
Yeah, dude, I was about to say the aliens look like shit. I mean, because it started advancing. I don't know if it was because he was taking the glasses off quick or what was it, but the aliens at first looked okay, and then the later it came on, they just looked like dudes in bodysuits and shit like that.
And the CG, those little cameras that were above them, those were the worst CGI things I've ever seen in my life.
Damn, that's the worst CGI.
I mean, you could tell it was so horrible. They did not blend in. I know how to do that stuff. They did not blend it in.
Worst looking CGI shit I've ever seen.
Obviously, CGI exists because Star Wars and bullshit like that.
Oh shit! Yeah, Star Wars came out like years before this. I mean, I think they had 2 out before this movie came.
So they actually had something, and it's Universal. Universal at the time in the '80s was huge.
Well, shit, it's still huge.
To this day, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, this year alone they made about what, fucking $3-4 billion.
yeah. So Universal wasn't a startup at the time.
Universal is one of the biggest fucking working studios out today.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it made some of the films that, like, I guess were the movies that we grew up to and shit.
Yeah, they had Jaws, Back to the Future,
Jurassic
Park. You're gonna hate me for saying this, but Fast and the Furious.
Unfortunately, yeah. But,
Born.
you know, it is making their money, I guess.
Yeah, so
This year they had Minions, Fast and Furious, and Jurassic World, and they had some other things too. I don't remember what it was in the summer, but yeah, I think their only failure this year was Ted 2, but I don't think they give a fuck.
no, they're just like, oh, it's a tax write-off. Oops.
Yeah, you know why they didn't give a fuck? Because Jurassic World the next week made its money back for it.
Yeah, so
I think Universal is competing with Universal this year, this summer at least.
Seth MacFarlane was like, thank you, Jurassic World.
Because every week they just kept releasing shit. This summer's been Disney and fucking Universal. Because as soon as Inside Out came out, 2-3 weeks later, Minions came out, and that's got like what 900 million worldwide and shit. So yeah, they making, that's like $3 billion right there with 3 films: Furious 7, Jurassic World, and Minions.
Yeah. So I just don't know why. I mean, I think it might have been the cast because Piper was just wrestling. I'm sure wrestling, even though it was big in the 80s, I don't think it was taken seriously.
I don't think they was paying them that much either.
Well, especially Piper, because this was his leading role debut. And Keith David, nobody knew. Meg Foster, I think she was a soap opera actress. But Carpenter is a name. He did Halloween thing, Christine, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's obviously developed a pretty nice career for himself.
This must have been a throwaway film for them, or him, for that matter.
Do you think this? Here's a question. Do you think this was a contracted film? You know what I mean? Like he had a contract with Universal that he had to make so and so minute films.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's actually a good question. I'm pretty sure he probably did have a contract like that, and this is probably before he got big. Because we've heard about directors that today have contracts like that. That they had. I forgot which one recently. He had to make a movie with, I think it was Fox or Universal, one of those. I think it was Fox or Universal that he had to make a movie with them, even though he didn't fucking want to, because he didn't want to make that movie. And this guy was particularly big too. And you know,
that was this year, I think, wasn't it?
I think it was this year or last year. I think we want to say like earlier. I think it was last year.
I think I remember the story. I just can't remember the movie or the director.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, either me or you talked about me and Cody. One of us talked about.
But it wasn't good. I remember the movie wasn't good.
Yeah, it was shit anyway. I don't think they gave it like that wide a release. I think it released it like in 1,500 or 2,000 theater because he was like, I don't give a shit to release it or something like that. So and I remember either he had 2 movies out as well that year that were great, and that was the only one that was shit. So
yeah, this could have been a contracted film because this obviously literally came out of nowhere with him.
Well, did he do any other films with Universal? Because these other films wasn't Universal films, were they?
Let me check Big Trouble Little China. That was this big one before that.
Oh, fuck yes, I forgot about that one.
That was Fox.
Yeah, I don't think that was Universal. A lot of those films were Fox, mainly.
Universal was Prince of Darkness.
I don't even remember that film.
That was right before. Columbia was Christine. Let me go after They Live. It was Warner Brothers.
It could have been one of those things where he probably didn't think his career was going to be as big as it was, and he just signed a contract with certain studios, and then this studio saw how big he was getting and said, hey, don't forget, you signed this guy, you got to make a movie with us.
The Thing was Universal.
But the thing about that, though, is that doesn't make sense if they did do that, though, because then why would they give him such a low budget then?
Well, they did. Back to the Future was the movie.
That's why. It must have been the movie.
Because this obviously picked up, this movie now, currently, They Live picked up because Roddy Piper died. Everyone went to revisit this movie.
Yeah, I'm hearing people quote that line, I got bubblegum and ass to kick.
No, I'm here for bubblegum and to kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm all out of bubblegum. I heard that line twice this week.
So that's obviously, that movie picked up. Obviously, their royalty checks came in for this movie after watching it. But maybe you're right. Maybe it was because the stars, and maybe Carpenter's like, it's something. It's obviously something different with him.
How much money did you say to me?
15.
15? Maybe just can get a wide theater release.
Maybe.
I don't know what the widest of theater releases back in the 80s were, though, so...
It only had 1,400 theaters.
Oh, shit, that's low.
That's extremely low.
I mean, that's damn near... I mean, if it would have been 400 less, that would probably would have been damn near limited in some parts or whatever. But, yeah, because usually the quota for wide release mainly is 2,000 and plus.
Yeah, and that was opening weekend, so obviously... It only made $4 million in its opening weekend, so obviously... It dropped handsomely the next weekend.
That's probably it. They've had to have a contract thing with you're right. They probably had a contract with what's his name? God damn it, I'm blanking on his fucking name now. For some reason I want to keep saying Wes Craven because I got that goddamn movie on my mind for some reason. Not Wes Craven, fucking John Carpenter, and they probably saw that movie, the script, or whatever, and said, yeah, look, we have faith in you, Carpenter, but we only going to give you about this amount of money to make whatever this shit is work somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's better to have a great director make some stupid shit work than have a bad director and give him a bad film.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. It opened number one.
Shit, probably only had, the Sands of Rocks to go up against some shit like that.
U2 movie, Everybody's All American, Halloween 4. But 4 million was what it made opening weekend, and that was number one. That cannot happen nowadays. That cannot happen.
A long goddamn way, Dan, of making money. Shit.
So obviously it made its budget back that first week, but then it dropped.
I was going to the movies back then, though, in the 80s.
It was terrible. I remember it.
Probably like fucking $5 or something.
Yeah.
Right, less than that. So, I mean, obviously they ain't going to make that huge of a profit. I mean, the reason why most of the time a lot of these movies make the money that they make is because they selling IMAX tickets or 3D tickets or something like that. You know, and those are like $20 a pop or something like that. And now you're getting a more wider audience to go see these films as well. So, I mean, most of those come from ticket prices alone that they're 15 and higher depending on what time you go see it. And most people go see movies after matinee times.
Yeah, and They Live was only in theater for 4 weeks.
God damn.
And that happens a lot nowadays when it doesn't produce. They pull it.
Yeah.
They pull it. I think Gallows was pulled after the second week.
Yeah, that's pretty much like a lot of horror films. Because they usually end up in the top 5, then they vanish, and then they're gone, and then they just pull it because why waste the money on something that nobody's gonna go see when it already made its money back? So fuck it. I mean,
yeah, you're probably gonna make more. You're probably gonna make more on DVD sales.
Yeah, exactly. So why spend more money to keep it in theaters when it already made its money back and then some? Just take it out, and especially when it's gonna get creamed by the bigger summer films that are coming out. So,
you know, it made its money back. So it's not a bust, but 80s compared to now, totally different.
Yeah, fuck yeah. If you tell me $4 million was number one, goddamn. Shit.
Yeah, that's, I mean, now in August, what was it? This past weekend, Mission Impossible only had like 26 million or whatever, and that won the weekend. I'm like, that's low for summer.
Yeah, that's not low for summer. Last week it made 60 something. What are you talking about?
For the weekend?
Yeah, last week it made 60. This is the second week Mission Impossible has been out.
But it finished number 1 and it made 29.
What's wrong with that?
That's low.
That's not low. It made on its opening weekend 60 million.
Yes, but I'm saying
second week it made 29 million.
But I'm saying it because it's summer. It's low for that
That's
to be the
not
number
low.
1 movie.
Every movie makes half of what they had the second week.
Correct.
That's half of what it made the first week.
And with, I don't want to say a big movie, but
Jesus Christ, man. That's basic business movie ethics right there. What are you talking about?
well, I was gonna say even with Fantastic Four opening up, but
29 million off a second week or whatever of a Mission Impossible film? That sounds about just right to me.
well, I'm looking like through the years. August is not a big box office year. Or
Bullshit, but keep going. Okay, you probably just need to get off the box office talk now. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I do this a weekly thing. Listen to movie spoilers, motherfucker. And
what?
actually handle the box office. So, yeah, shut the fuck up. You know what the hell you talking about. That 29 is low on the second weekend. What the hell?
But what did you said the ending ended abruptly? What did you think? Were you kind of surprised he died? Piper?
No, not really. I wasn't surprised he died. I don't think once the second act kicked in, I don't think anything caught me off guard really. I think that's probably what's okay about the first act is that it has a lot of leading up to. But the thing about the second act is once it kicks in, it kind of, I don't want to say it goes into generic territory, but it goes into a territory that you can kind of predict coming in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he should have died, but at the same time, I think it's cool that he died because you don't really get to see that a lot on the film. So yeah.
And he won too. He technically,
Roddy Piper, he's going.
yeah, he technically won. He won because he destroyed their whatever they're doing to have people not see the aliens.
The gay porn casting.
Yeah, and did you see the people's reaction when they were looking at them? They're like, the newscaster like, Barbara, you look terrible. I'm like, what? They're aliens. Act like they're aliens.
They had the most dumbfounded looks on their fucking face or whatever. So some of the dialogue in here wasn't that great either, though.
No, besides Piper's, no.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's because of his delivery or what, but yeah, well, shit, even some of his dialogue was terrible too, but it was just funny. Like in that fight scene, come on now, some of his dialogue was terrible, but he delivered it in a way where it's funny as shit. Especially that look in his eye.
Yeah, that was a weird look. I noticed that too.
Good look he had in his eye. He looked like he was fucking crazed or something.
But he shoots out the satellite. He gets shot by the copter. He flips off the copter, which I thought was a fitting end to his character. Like a big fuck.
Wait, did that look like he flicked the cop off? It looked like it was his index finger.
I think he flipped him off. It looked like he did.
Yeah, it looked like his index finger. I was staring at it, I was like, damn, is that his middle finger or has he got some fucked up fingers? It's always been my dream to flick a cop off, but I don't want to get shot, so.
But I thought that was a fitting end for his character.
Yeah. It's a fun. The second act is very fun, man. It gets a lot of imaginative ideas. I think it's really fun. I think the pacing in here is odd at first, but I think it gets the idea of what is going on here and stuff like that. I mean, towards the end, they really didn't know what the fuck they were doing with that ending. That ending it comes out of fucking nowhere, literally. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching the film. My curiosity rose to another level of wanting to see where it goes and stuff. And obviously, when I watched it when I was 12, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, I'm not gonna lie. But, now watching it as an adult, there was never once where I looked at the movie and was like, this movie, I hated it or anything like that. I thought it was fun. I probably can see myself watching this again, but not on a weekly basis. Maybe like every other month or something like that, and maybe like once or twice a year or something like that. Because obviously it's not going to show on TV. And if it did, I wouldn't give a shit anyway because I don't really watch that much TV. But overall, I think Roddy Piper was fantastic. I thought he was great. Some of his character choices that he made was a little 180 shift jumps there and there, but I don't know, something about the curiosity of what's going to happen now and there, I think is what kept me going. He had a lot of charming personalities to him because I was just waiting for him to smash a coconut over Keith David's head.
That would have been funny. I'm not going to lie.
A coconut in that trash can and smash it over his head, that would have been hilarious.
And why did, when he broke the back window of the car, why did that piss Keith David off? Because he's been walking the whole time. That's not his car.
Keith David was pissed this whole movie.
He was.
Especially after the whole binocular thing, watching him, he just mad the whole fucking movie. Like, even in that the fight scene, whatever, he's like, here's your first week's of money, whatever, and then Roddy just says, put these glasses on. He's just like, I told you, you need to just go stay and hide and stay where no one can find you. And I was like, damn, Keith, why are you getting all mad and shit?
I really do like Keith David, and I really do like him a lot.
He's an angry black guy in this film.
Which is typical, but he was a good counter. He was a good, I don't want to say buddy, but he was a good guy for Piper to play off of.
He's alright.
Well, imagine it was someone else.
I don't think it would have mattered. They could have got anybody for that. It's not like Keith David really did a whole lot in here.
No, but better than some people probably.
I will say the best thing about the Keith David was just the fight scene.
Yeah, and that really pissed me off that he pretty much dies out of nowhere. I thought that was so stupid.
Yeah.
And especially from her, especially from Meg Foster. That was like, fuck us, fuck you.
Meg Foster had no personality in this film whatsoever.
No, I think that's just her in general.
Yeah, she's a boring ass woman. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
She didn't smile. She just had the same blank expression. Her line delivery was terrible.
I mean, even in the house scene where she's supposed to be frightened by Roddy Piper, or even in the car scene, she's supposed to be frightened by Roddy Piper. She had no expression whatsoever.
No.
She's talking to him as if she fucking knows him or whatever.
Yeah, and that. Yeah.
I don't think she was acting at all in this film.
I think it's just a paycheck for her.
Must be nice then. She must have been getting dick from somebody in here.
Yeah.
Well, final thoughts, Z.
Movie, second half, the second act, it's perfect, it's fun, it's interesting. There is some downside, like that whole portal thing where they went underground, that just got confusing. It came out of nowhere and got confusing.
Oh yeah, it did come out of nowhere.
It never.
There's a lot of shit in this movie that just came out of nowhere.
It never explained anything too, and that's the shitty part.
It never explains nothing in this film.
The first half is god awful boring. It really is. It takes so long.
You were that bored?
I was bored at the first half because it's. Yeah. I know you got to develop you got to have some character backstory and some little development.
Did you really develop a character in that beginning?
He's like you said. He's just a working man. That's all he does. He wants to work.
Yeah, and that doesn't really play up into the second half. So.
No. So I think
Predator didn't do that though.
No, it took what, 40, almost an hour for Predator to even show up.
I was gonna say, well, the characters they had in there, they didn't develop any of those guys. These guys had fucking macho lines like "I don't got time to bleed" and shit like that. But it was still fun.
Yeah, when Predator show up, yeah, that was fun as fuck.
Yeah, that was the movie that did a 180. You know what the fuck they were going on. I was like, damn, there's a monster movie now. Shit. Yeah, then obviously this movie was in the realm of like Predator and the rest of them, where it just went out all out action blast, supposed to have a good time type of deal. So I don't think you really needed a backstory with it. It ain't like this movie was trying to make a message or anything like that. If it was, I didn't catch on to it.
I'm gonna give it a run it.
Okay.
I would say brave through the first part of the movie, and then just have fun with the second half. When Piper loses his shit, that's when it turns into fun.
Yeah, it does. Because nobody knows how to lose their shit better than Roddy Piper.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give it a high in it. I think I enjoyed it a little bit. This movie has a lot of fucking problems. That's for sure. Has a lot of fucking problems. but there's some excitement to get out of it. I do agree with Z. He kind of says it is kind of, where he says boring, I'd probably say more pointless for me. The opening half, at least. All that shit was just pointless. It led to nothing. It had no detail to add on to the second half of the film here. It's like, yeah, like Z said, it's just a working man, so it's like, what the fuck is the point? And then this whole, I guess, trying to build this relationship with Keith David and him, I personally didn't even need that, to be honest. I mean, because it felt forced or whatever. What's that non-acting bitch's name again?
Meg Foster.
I always forget her name. Meg Foster. She's terrible in this film, too, by the way. She is just god-awful terrible.
That is actually probably the worst casting choice.
She is the first of many actresses to come today who just can't act and has no personality and don't blend in or anything like that. She started the Kristen Stewart era of days and stuff like that.
Kristen Stewart uses her as a role model.
Yeah, you know, this girl is probably role model a lot of people. I would damn near even say Jennifer Lawrence nowadays, too, for that matter. Oh, I'm going to get my shit mail for that one now, because, you know, people love Jennifer Lawrence or whatever, but sorry, she's fucking boring in Hunger Games, so, shows no emotion or personality whatsoever. Yes, I'll give it a high rated. I didn't, I guess, hate the beginning as much as you probably did. And now that hearing you talk about it more, I do find it to be actually kind of pointless now. It's kind of get to the point of the thing. I think when it gets to the point, though, it kind of gets to keep the ball rolling. Problem with keeping the ball rolling, though, there's a lot of unexplained shit that just happens. It kind of comes out of nowhere, like Z said earlier, and I don't know if that's just that goofiness or that keeps it going, but you can probably tell they didn't give a fuck about this when they was making this.
No, it wasn't obviously a cash cow, but you know, it probably took a lot for movies not to make their budget back in the 80s. Because they're...
Yeah, I'm about to say. Because obviously movies were a big deal to people in the 80s. That's all they had anyway, so. And drugs.
And drugs.
Yeah, they were probably watching this movie on drugs.
Maybe.
How many times do you think Roddy Pipers watched this movie?
His lifetime?
Yeah.
Probably about 50 to 100.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah, he probably showed everybody that came to his house and shit.
Yeah, he's probably just, you know, hang posters up and had DVDs everywhere. This is his biggest movie.
Unsold DVDs.
Not no more.
Nobody gave a fuck about it. Nobody gave a flying fuck about this shit, so until today. Okay, Z, let's get into some questions now, though, man. That was a great review.
Yeah, good movie.
That's an awesome review we just did right now, right?
We'll see.
We'll be exhausted by that time. But, Jan, she says, this is from last week's show. It says, so are you saying this is better than the Raid 2 P1? Yes, I am saying that, Jan.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm saying that. I've been saying that. I've been saying that for the long. I've been saying Ip Man 2 is the best martial arts film out there. I stick by that, and I will continue to say it is the best martial arts film out there. The best story told, the most depth told, the better fight scenes. It is fucking incredible what they do with that. That is the best martial arts film overseas, period.
Raid is good on it differently than Ip Man. Ip Man.
Yeah, I don't think they really compare.
No.
Because Raid, I would say like Ip Man is more. How can I put this? Ip Man is, I guess, more going for a historical factor of it. So they try to capture like a realistic time where Ip Man 2 is more. Basically, let's put it this way. Ip Man is more of like the Jackie Chan style. And the Raid is more of like a Jet Li style. Seems more futuristic and shit like that as far as the fight scenes and stuff go like that. They look hard to pull off, but yet they are able to pull off if you fucking know martial arts that well or something.
Yeah.
Ip Man 2 is more, I would say, grounded in a way.
Yeah, I mean, they both have certain aspects that make the movie great, but you can't compare the two. I don't think Raid 2 is a pure martial arts movie.
Which, Raid 2 or Ip Man 2?
Raid 2.
Shit, I would even say damn near, I guess Ip Man 2, yeah, it kind of does, because the ending wraps its way around martial arts, so yeah, I guess so.
But both movies are great. Don't get me wrong. I love both movies.
Well, yeah, you know what? You actually bring up a great point, though. Is The Raid really a martial arts film? Because there are stories told in them. It's just that they just so happen to know martial arts as well.
I would not put Raid 2 as a martial arts movie, no.
I could see that then. Yeah, that is a good point because they don't base because basically Rama, the main actor, he's a cop. They just so happen to know martial arts very well, and that's how instead of shooting someone, that's how they kind of get down in the parts where Ip Man 2 is, or Ip Man, the whole series, whatever, it's just based around martial arts. I mean, that's all they talk about.
Yeah, the style of fighting, yeah, so...
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I guess Raid kind of be more in the action style of martial arts, if that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and the story was easier. Actually, both had different stories, too, but, I would say, if I had to pick between the two, it's very tough to pick between the two. I might actually go for Ip Man.
Yeah. I think Ip Man is just that better of a quality of a film. That's have to put Raid 2 down, where Raid 2 is fucking incredible, but I think Ip Man 2 is you learn a lot from the film. There's a lot of death in there. You get to learn certain styles of martial arts and stuff like that. And that's not what Raid was trying to. Raid wasn't trying to teach you any goddamn thing about martial arts or whatever. Like you said, it was. I would even damn near say that the camera angles are just as good in Ip Man as it was in Raid as well.
Very much. Yep.
Yeah, I would say. And that last fight scene in Ip Man 2 was fucking incredible.
Yeah. And
last fight scene in Raid 2 was fucking incredible too. When Rama got, those some badass fight scenes.
The back scene at the end with in the hallway with
Oh fuck yeah! The whole ending where when he drives the car into the place and then he beats all those guys, then he fights baseball bat.
God, I want to watch that movie again.
Yeah, I know, I do too now. Whatever. And he fights Hammer Girl, then he gets into the last guy. I was just waiting for Ken Watanabe to just say when they were crossing their legs together and shit. Let them fight.
Ken Watanabe.
I remember just sitting there and I was like, God, I mean, that could have been damn near the They Live fight scene too, because it just kept going. That was just like, oh, okay, damn, we gonna end this shit?
And hey, and Hammer Girl had glasses too.
That's right, yeah, Hammer Girl, her blind ass.
Put the glasses on.
Put the fucking glasses on. He smashed that bat into that dude's face.
Yeah.
Oh man, God, I think I'm gonna watch that now when I get back.
I definitely want to see it again.
Yeah, I love the fuck out of that. That ending is fucking, the fight scenes in there is just...
I might watch them both. I might watch it, Raid 1 and 2.
Yeah, I fucking will too. I gotta order some pizza now when I get back. Gotta put on the Raid 1 and 2. The Raid marathon's about to kick off now, people. God damn, this movie. These martial arts films, or these action films, they're so fucking incredible. I mean, they're so much better than gunplay films too now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
It's like when in Expendables 3 where Stallone was talking about, this is like the Raid of the Expendables films. It's just like, none of you motherfuckers are doing hand-to-hand combat in here, whatever, and you got people like Ronda Rousey and shit like that in here who does hand-to-hand combat, and yet everybody's shooting a gun in here. Gunplay for a fucking hour is boring after a while.
It is. That's why the Raid's so good, is because it incorporates both.
Yeah, if you're just doing gunplay for a fucking hour, it's gonna be like, okay, how long can you do something clever with shooting someone? Or that's the thing about the Raid, is where the martial arts is, it amps itself up to different levels every fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you get out of each one. Where if it's just like when you're just shooting someone, it's just like, cause it's not really a clever way of shooting someone unless you slide around a room with some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
But next one comes from Pac. He says, does American martial art movies give the culture a black eye?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. Can you name an American martial arts movie?
I got one. The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy.
Well, you remember in the, what was it? Was it right after Karate Kid? They had like American Kickboxer, Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, it became kind of a joke.
Yeah.
It became just kind of a silly 80s action film and shit like that. It was in the vein of like Rambo and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, black eye, yes, because I don't think American filmmakers take it
serious.
Serious, yeah. They don't embrace the
I think
culture.
they depicted that American audiences, which I don't know where they would get this from. They would probably get bored or tired from it.
Fuck no.
Because then you get like, well, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Because you got these action films where we talked about this last, where they do these fucking quick cuts and shit like that. And obviously we know it's just because the main actor don't know fucking martial arts or something like that. But at the same time, it's like, I have to use this example again. It's like, I already know these Taken movies are stupid. I'm going there to see Liam Neeson beat the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking that away from me. So you kind of giving yourself a fuck it when you do that, because it's like, okay, I know your story is stupid and it's the same thing going on here or whatever, but let me see Liam Neeson be a badass and beat the shit out of people. But now that you're doing these quick edits and cut with it, it's like, you want me to give this a fuck it, don't you?
You're making it boring. You're actually disorienting the viewer with those quick cuts.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking I mean, some people like to see, well, I ain't gonna say some. All people like to see dumb, mindless action or something like that. But I mean, you can get points just from making a fight scene look cool as shit, especially if it's well choreographed. And I don't think American directors have gotten there. I mean, the guy that did The Raid too, I keep getting his name mixed up with the nigga that did Godzilla, and I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna say Gareth. That guy has a true art of how to film his shots and shit like that, because man, he filmed a fucking bathroom stall fight scene where you can see everything. I mean, that guy's incredible.
Yeah, he should teach some classes here.
Yeah, I really wish they would give him a Batman film, because Batman's all about hand-to-hand combat, and I think he would fucking show how a fight scene is really done in a Batman film, which is something we have yet to see now in a film, where just see two people beating the shit out of each other in a Batman film, especially in the Dark Knight trilogy. It's like, what the fuck was all that training for in the first one if you never was going to use any of that?
Yeah, and then there's not much hand-to-hand combat in the second one.
And then in the third one, he uses it and it's ineffective, and you're just like, well, what was the point then?
Yeah, you're right.
What was the point of teaching him all this martial arts combat when he didn't even fucking use it? I mean, even because you would think when he fought Liam Neeson at the end, there would be like, because I mean that's the dude that showed him that I'm gonna use it. Whatever, you thought there would have been like some great hand-to-hand fight scenes in there, but it was like, no, it was just a brawl. It was like a beat-down, punch brawl or whatever. It was just like, damn. So what was the point of you learning all that different style of martial arts and that mountain and shit? Then it was a waste of your fucking time, really.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you damn near Nolan's Batman says almost damn near anyone could have been Batman.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just like he didn't really do anything outside of like, detective work or style or whatever. I mean, he basically said if you had money, you could have been Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman, that's right, yes. That's one thing, I feel like every Batman film, we're getting closer and closer to seeing something of how Batman should be. And I don't know if we'll get the hand-to-hand martial arts combat in this new Batman series or whatever. Hopefully we do. Because that would be a style. I know we got the look down of Batman now, whatever. But I'm just waiting for that Batman when we finally gets the martial arts down. And I think this guy that did The Raid 2 would be fucking incredible. Or even I forgot his last name, but Christopher, I forgot his name. The dude that just did the last Mission Impossible film.
Oh.
He did some great fucking shots of underwater scenes and stuff like that. I was just like, Aquaman needs to look like this. This looks fucking incredible right here. I was like, this water scene here is fucking incredible how it's shot, and you see all the action going on and stuff like that. Everything in here looks great.
Well, but you gotta think Warner Brothers is gonna be like, we're gonna do it our way, That's the bad thing about studios like that. Obviously, let's even go to Fox with Fantastic Four, when the director rips the fuck out of his own movie.
Well, yeah, because, Fox is one of the ones that usually doesn't... It's usually one of the studios that doesn't really get involved in their films or whatever. And Fox then said, man, we've been trying to get rid of his ass, because Josh Trank fucked that movie up completely. And, it's dumb to say that all those rumors about him was true. He's hard to work with. Nobody wants to work with him. He's kind of a pain in the ass and stuff like that. He was being hard-headed, whatever, where Fox even had to step in, and Fox was just like, okay, we don't want to step in, so if they wouldn't have signed that contract, they were ready to fire his ass on the spot, because last year they were talking about throwing his script out and firing him, because he was so fucking difficult to work with. Apparently his fucking dogs came on the set and destroyed it and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just like this dude was just he was just a fucking hassle and a pain in the ass, or whatever. And I don't know where he got this ego from or whatever it was and shit, because he only had one fucking movie beforehand. It was big. It wasn't a big film, but it made some decent amount of money. But I don't know where the fuck he came from with this shit. Now he's trying to claim, oh, I quit from Star Wars. Like, no, the fuck you did. You got fired. Come on.
It's really, it's still like I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, but from the reviews and stuff,
that movie's terrible.
I still can't believe he directed Chronicle.
The movie is fucking terrible. It really fucking is. The best thing about Fox in this right now, though, I have to say, as bad as that movie is there's hope for the sequel because Fox is already wanting to get someone else on it.
Yeah.
So there's hope for it.
Not much.
The problem with Josh Trank is he tried to make this shit Chronicle 2.
Yeah, I think you said that before you even saw the movie.
Yeah, he even said it himself. He was just like, I'm not trying to make a Fantastic, I was trying to make a Chronicle 2, make this seem like a Chronicle 2, and everybody's looking at him and it's just like, even Fox had to step in and go like, yeah, man, this don't feel like, and Fox even had ghost directors and writers come in, like Matthew Vaughn and Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer's even came off and shit, whatever. And you can tell the parts what they did in the film too. You just like, yeah, that feels like Bryan Singer did this. It's like, wow. Maybe, I'm afraid to go back and watch Chronicle now, to be honest. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm sure Throwback Tuesday will probably bring that film up and realize, wow, this movie is shit. But I don't really think Chronicle was that hard to pull off.
No,
to be honest.
I don't think so.
I don't think this guy just didn't get Fantastic Four, to be honest. But I have hope for that film of the franchise. Because Fox seems to know what they want out of it and stuff and how to get it right. They just need to find the right people that know what the fuck they doing with the material, and instead of this shit of saying, oh, I just want to make a sequel for another film I did, and all this other bullshit, this guy's a straight up dick, I'm not gonna lie. You talk about egos, this dude, I quit Star Wars. No, the fuck you did. They fired your ass, be real. Nobody quits Star Wars, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody. That's a fucking career. I don't give a damn if that movie sucks or is good or whatever. That's a fucking career elevator right there. Star Wars. Any director would be scratching at the goddamn wall to get that role. Anyone.
Yeah.
So that guy's full of shit. But, last question I got here is from my boy Jack. You remember Jack last week, right?
Yes.
He was defending Interstellar. Loved Interstellar. Thought it was great.
I remember.
Yeah, I guess you don't feel that same sentiment then. But he says, Interstellar was an incredible film. Based on the reviews of it, I feel like none of you paid attention to the film. And I would assume he's talking about he says based on the reviews of it, so he's talking about a lot of people then. He's talking about, well, no, I don't think it's not that we pay attention. I just think that the film wasn't that good. That's what it was. He says, just because the plot and science of the film confuse you, that doesn't make the film bad. I understand how it may not be on somebody's favorites list, but I cannot understand why Z, for example, could put it so low on his list. What number was it on your list again?
3 or 4. Or
3 or 4, okay. Also, TPO is right about Zimmer. Though he is a good composer, he's not very original in his compositions.
You're right.
Yeah, man, it's just...
Interstellar, with Zimmer, because he does so many fucking movies. I think he does,
sound the fucking same. Well, you know what the thing about his composing is, he does the same composing for films that kind of have the same background look to it. Like Man of Steel, Interstellar, Inception, they all got that same camera light on it.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see him do something like I don't even want to throw this out here, but I'm just throwing it out. Like, you want to see him do something bright and color, like an animated film or a Marvel film or something like that. See what he would do with that shit, but it seems like he picks the same fucking looking films over again,
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too. But with Interstellar, it's not the science that confused me. The plot kind of took you everywhere. The plot moved you everywhere. That's the thing. It's the plot that confused me. The science, I don't like science. So, yeah, obviously it's going to confuse me, but the plot overweighed the science.
I do like science, and I still found it, actually, you're right. Now that I'm trying to remember, the science wasn't what bothered me. It was that love shit at the fucking end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's giving, because Matthew McConaughey's laying some science on her, talking about this is how we're gonna go about it. Anne Hathaway pulls some bullshit about what equations are we going off to go off this planet, and she's like, through this guy or whatever, and he's just like, no, that's some bullshit. You going based off because you're in love with that guy or whatever. And she's like, don't you think that, you know, our human feelings is what can save him and mankind, shit like that? I'm just like, no. No, that's not at all, actually. For me, that is something Nolan, I know he's better than that, and I don't think he would write some lazy shit like that by saying, and then, because, you know, Matthew McConaughey laid it down on her and say, no, we're going to use this planet with the formula that the equation's right. It turns out that planet was the wrong one. It's just like, really? Okay, so are we seriously going to say that the planet that Anne Hathaway said to go to was the right one because she had a emotional attachment to some guy, some shit like that? I'm like, are you fucking serious? I don't expect Nolan to write like that. It's lazy as shit. To pull in some love shit that's just like, the power of love is going to save us. It's like, get the fuck up out of here with that shit, Nolan.
Yeah, I'm not going to revisit the movie. And I really don't think my opinion might get worse if I watched it again.
Oh, because you're gonna watch it at home and then you're gonna fucking depict it even worse then. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's the plot. The plot's out there. It's way too out there.
It's not that the plot and science is confusing. It's because it's no good.
No, this is obviously the weakest Nolan movie. The weakest Nolan movie.
Yeah, probably. So that plot easily gets convoluted.
It does.
Really gets convoluted. Characters, they start making 180 changes and shit out of nowhere.
And we're not talking throughout the movie. We're talking the very next scene.
Yeah, like the very fucking next scene. Like someone was saying that, Casey Affleck, a 30-year times that passed by, whatever, so he can't change his mind and opinion. Not like that.
No.
You can't go from loving father and son to basically I'm beating the shit out of my wife now or whatever, and I'll kill my sister if she gets in my way or whatever. It's just like, no, I need to see a reason for that. I just can't see one moment Casey Affleck smiling and shit like that, then next time we go back to space, then we come back and he's sitting at the dinner table with his wife and shit, looking at her, and Jessica Chastain is like, well, what's going on with you two, whatever. He's just sitting there like, no, that's too huge of a change in a character to not be shown on screen what made that transition there.
Yeah, but
it's just bad. Well, I don't know if it's editing or not or whatever. I don't want to see a longer fucking cut of this film, please. That film's long as it was anyway. Shit. And as far as Zimmer go, man, that guy, he really needs to start picking different fucking films, because as great, like you said, Jackie is or whatever, his shit is not getting original at all, and it's just starting to sound the same. Actually, he's starting to become one of my least favorite composers nowadays. Where I remember when this guy was on top when he came out and shit, and, hitting it down, but now it's just starting to look like the same shit over and over.
I agree with you.
Some people say that he needs to switch his music up. I think he needs to switch his film choices up, because I think easily his film choice would depict how he could switch his genre of music up with it, because he's picking the same dark tone looking films over and over again, and they have that same beat to it. It may sound different at first, but if you listen to it over, it has that same rhythm going for it or whatever. You're just like, yeah, Zimmer, you need to step your game up a little bit. I want to see him do something more lighter. Maybe you need to pull off a fucking Marvel film or an animated film or a next Die Hard film or whatever action film coming out or an Oscar film or something like that for that matter,
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see. He does a lot of work, though.
Yeah, he does a lot of the same shit. All he does is fucking rehash the same shit over. I'm sorry. Actually, yeah. I'm starting not to like this guy as much as I thought I would now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting kind of... I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love him, whatever. It's funny because everybody always say, oh, I'm looking for something new and different. It's just like, why the fuck you still like Hans Zimmer? He's been doing the same shit for I don't know how long now.
I agree.
Oh, and then Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is when I finally cut him off. That was it. Because I was like, this score is cool. He played the fuck out of it, though, in that movie. I was like, God damn, dude, all right. I get the message now.
At least Inception had different styles for each scene.
What was that?
Inception had different styles for each scene.
Yeah. It felt like it played with more of the scenes.
Yeah, but he's just needs to break out and do something different.
He needs a different type of film, first of all.
Yeah.
I don't think he gives a shit, though, at this point, so
No.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Nope.
So, people, well, that's the end of the show. That was the last question.
That's it.
Jack, you can tell us how much you loved Interstellar next week, man. I really appreciate how much you got your devotion to Interstellar. I actually love your devotion to it. I thought the movie was some bullshit. But anyway, well, people, if you want to tell me how much you loved Interstellar, or didn't like it, which I'll probably get both of each or whatever, then you can do that on Twitter. And I'm on there in the Twitter sphere of Movie Spoiler Pod. That's right, you can type that in. I'm there, whatever. You can follow me on Instagram, too, at Phenomenal01. I had set up an Instagram account about, a month ago and shit like that. And then I was like, wow, I need to tell people I'm on there. And I did, and fucking one night, I got like 1,000 followers and shit.
Awesome.
I was like, God damn, you spoiling bastards come out, don't you? And then also, if you need to tell me how much you loved Interstellar or hated it even more, because 140 characters is just not enough, or you can't do so in a photo, then you need to find me at Google Plus and tell me all your best wishes about Interstellar. And you can do so by going ahead and typing in MovieSpoilers_TPO, and that's where you'll find me there. Or if you're on YouTube already and you're logged in, just click on that little plus logo on the top of your right-hand corner or whatever, and it'll take you right there to your Google Plus account that you probably don't even know exists. See, where can the people find you at? They
can find me at The Bird, aka Twitter.
The Bird! Woo!
The Bird, at SBulldog99.
Birdman.
Google Plus, Chad_Zuver.
Nope.
And then also Facebook for Chad Zuver.
Oh, people, wow, that's the end of the show, like we said. That has been Throwback Tuesday, episode 111. I'm your spoiling host with the most phenomenal one.
This is Z.
And we will be back next week for episode 112. Later, bastards.
See ya.
Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick. And I'm all out of bubblegum.